host of angels. They were standing everywhere.
Look up at me, for I am dying. I mean, not right now. Well, what is now? Perhaps my frail body will manage to continue to crawl around this spinning sphere for another 50 years, and that's an awful big perhaps. I will probably die way before then. But say I got another 50 years, what is 50 years? Well, universally speaking, it is now. 50 years is not even a snap of this ancient universe's fingers. It took billions of years for life just to get here. So yeah, I am dying now. You are dying now. And somehow by a stroke of luck or providence, it matters not how you define it, you and I ended up in this same strange time and place, dying together. You and I. So if you could just dig down deep to find an ounce of courage in this fearful world and look up from your screen, if just for a moment, then maybe we can fall in love like humans used to before screens. Before screens tricked the dying into believing that they were not. And I can still remember the very moment that I lost myself in glaring depravity with a sense of failure, the heaviness of cosmic betrayal beyond any measure of redemption that I had ever believed in. Understanding nothing of the gospel save the part about my own sin, the curse of my deceit, and the ever-present fact that I was alone, not just literally speaking, I was alone in every sense. And partial understandings of things such as gospels can be worse than no understanding at all. So maybe it was just some unlucky star that I begged for more than magic to fill the chasm that was my aching heart, and I was angry. Not because this magic never came, but because I no longer believed in its very existence. And I was enraged at my maker in a way that I could not put into words. It was my front row seat to the viewing of the death of faith, and not just any faith, my own. So I looked out into the stars, wishing I was a tree or a dog. They don't care about such things. And I still remember being 13, locked in my room, laying on my bed, staring at the ceiling, drowning in the sounds of sonic youth and hypnotized by the blades of my ceiling fan. And in that moment, that was all that mattered. I was happy. Now I'm a middle-aged man and I'm burned out on rock and roll, and I can't even pillow my head without the weight of the stars suffocating me with questions I cannot even begin to try to answer. So I look out into the stars again, then it occurs to me that for reasons I cannot explain, that every time, and I mean every single time that I look into the night sky, my heart, that same heart that I have been toiling to understand all of my life, that same heart that gives birth to the most harrowing of thoughts, my heart in all cries beauty. Before my heart can even interrupt my mind to consider my condition, beauty. Before I even begin to be haunted by my old familiar devils, beauty. And for some strange reason, a light wave emitted an uncountable amount of years ago from a star unimaginable in its very existence, traversed an unmeasurable distance through space, and reached my eye at just the moment I turned it toward the heavens. And that light wave tickled some tissue in my eye that sent a vibration down a nerve to my brain that decodes everything I touch, taste, hear, smell, and see. And with just one look, within one brief moment, it placed this feeling of awe within my heart. And this is every evidence of God that I will ever need. So to hell with understanding. It would take an awful little God to be understood by men. So from one dying man to another, look up, my brother. Look up, my sister. Look up.
I couldn't miss the Holy Ghost because it was just all over the place. I stopped to get some courage and strength to help me run this race. But by then my basket was getting pretty full. But I remembered I needed some grace. I didn't forget salvation. My salvation, that was free. Riding down life's highway a few days ago, and there I saw a sign that read, Heaven's Grocery Store. Well, I got a little closer, and the doors just came open wide. Well, you know I like to shop, grocery store or what, so I went inside. I saw a host of angels. They were standing everywhere. One even handed me a basket and said, "Now you be sure you shop with care." Everything a Christian needed was in that grocery store. And all you couldn't carry that day, you could come back the next day and get more. Well, first I got some patience. Love was in that same row. And further down was understanding. You need that everywhere you go. I got a box or two of wisdom, a bag or two of faith. I couldn't miss the Holy Ghost because it was just all over the place. I stopped to get some courage and strength to help me run this race. But by then my basket was getting pretty full. But oh, I remembered I needed some grace. I didn't forget salvation, because salvation, that was free. So I decided to get enough to save both you and me. Then I started up to the counter to pay my grocery bill, for I thought I had everything to do my master's will. But as I went up the aisle, I saw prayer. Well, I just had to put that in, because I knew the minute I stepped outside, I'd run smack in the scene. Well, peace and joy were plentiful, but they were on that very last shelf. Songs and praises were hanging near, so I just helped myself. Well, I knew my shopping day was over, for lo, the dark had come, and I knew within my mind that I must hurry home. So I took my little basket up to the counter, and I asked the angel, "Now how much do I owe?" But he just smiled and said, "Just take them everywhere you go." Well, that didn't satisfy me, so I said, "Now how much do I really owe?" He smiled again and said, "My child, Jesus paid your bill a long time ago."